Hey, doll. Thanks for clicking on my channel, Life in the 1900s Newspapers. Today, we're going to have some 1920s fun. So put on your glad rags, and we may just cut a rug. Let's see what happened in a day in 1920s by reading the Martinsburg Journal from Martinsburg, West Virginia, dated Thursday evening, November 1st, 1928. While you take a look at these lovely 1920s bathing beauties, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it. Did you know I have another channel? It's called Life in the 1800s Newspapers, and it's not monetized yet, but I'm hoping I get more views. So check it out if you got time. I appreciate it. On this channel, Life in the 1900s Newspaper, I am monetized. I wanted to tell you that I do it as a hobby, and I get about $10 a month from advertising, but it's not about the money, it's about the fun. And the most fun I have is when you comment, so feel free to comment below. Well, on with today's newspaper. Uses his fist in effort to show wife how to vote. Los Angeles, November 1st. The electioneering William Lynch did in his home for his favorite presidential candidate was made the basis on which Mrs. Bertie M. Lynch won a degree of divorce yesterday. My husband is a Democrat and thinks that Alfred E. Smith is the best man for president, Mrs. Lynch testified. I am a Republican and I'm for Herbert Hoover. I told my husband I thought Hoover was the best man, and he got angry, grabbed me around the neck, and rapped his knuckles on my head, attempting to make me take back my statement and change my vote intentions. Declaring a wife's right to support any candidate she prefers, the judge signed the divorce decree. New York. Alexander Jerome needed a suitcase and bought one for $2 at an auction of unclaimed seamen's belongings held by the Federal Shipping Commissioner. He found therein 5 bottles of pre-war rye. His delight was such that the custom agents took a peek. The bottles were seized. Jeremy got his $2 back, although he wanted $5 per bottle. Then the bag was sold for 15 cents. Chuck went to college to fill up with knowledge and became a great football star. His dad first debated but got so elated he bought him a classy used car. Good-looking used cars, honestly reconditioned and rightfully priced. At Martinsburg Motor Company. Two women motor around the world on own resources. New York, November 1st. 2 young English women, determined to be the first of their sex to travel around the world by automobile without the aid of mere man, arrived Wednesday on the steamship Tuscania. Mrs. Gladys de Havilland and Miss Mona Elay. They are of Andover, England, and will set out tomorrow with a little 7-horsepower machine, one of the smallest built, for San Francisco via Indianapolis, Kansas, Santa Fe, and Los Angeles. Other women who have attempted to motor around the world have had an aid of men, they said. Miss de Havilland will be her own mechanic. They expect to arrive in London about the end of April. They will carry an old boot for luck and very little baggage. Here's a few of the prices for groceries in 1929. Karaja coffee, 1 pound, 39 cents. Beech nut peanut butter, 10 cents, 18 cents, and 25 cents. Star soap, 7 cakes for 25 cents. Beech nut spaghetti brand for 2 for 23 cents. Filet of haddock, 1 pound, 18 cents. Some Nimrods are violating game law. Although Thursday was the first day that quail could be legally killed, a few local Nimrods state scores of unscrupulous hunters have been slaying the small feathered game since the opening of the rabbit season. On October 1st, Deputy Game Warden Whitmore stated Wednesday that he had been informed that one local hunter who spent several days in Morgan County had bagged at least a dozen of the birds, which the warden said was double violation insomuch as the law prescribes that not more than 10 shall be killed in one day by each hunter. Alkine Chapter Eastern Star held a delightful Halloween social at the Masonic Temple Tuesday night with a large crowd in attendance. The Grand March was quite a pageant. All kinds of jolly games and stunts created pleasant diversions, and delicious refreshments were served. Everybody had a good time and departed at a late hour, wishing Halloween came oftener than once a year. Hey folks, take a look at this lovely young lady in these Halloween postcards. She was one of the most popular flappers in the 20s. Look at all the fan mail she's getting. That's right, it's time for the Flapper Alert.
Just for me.
Here's an advertisement for our Some Things Never Change category. Jack and GOP run to the top to buy Mr. Kelly's tire. Jack wants Kelly and Jumbo Kelly. The race is full of fire. The election seems to be getting warmer than it has for years, and it is a good omen. Widespread interest in candidates is absolutely necessary to the civic good. It is a duty of every eligible citizen to cast a vote for the candidate of their choice. Presidential election year comes every 4 years. Therefore, for 3 years, you don't have to think of the president. Why not buy your tires so that you will have 3 years free from worry? If you will try our oversizing specifications with Kelly Springfields, you can forget the tires on your car for as many years. Kelly's tires are running on a super service ticket, and you cannot go wrong if you decide in their favor. Reliability, long safe service, and reasonable first costs are points that you cannot afford to overlook. It's so easy to keep smiling with Kelly's. George A. Kirshner and Sons. South Bend, Indiana. More gloom for Knute Rockne. Just when the Notre Dame coach was satisfied he had found a crashing fullback in Larry Moon Mullins, it was discovered the latter had injured his leg so severely in the Drake game that he would be of little or no use against the Penn State Saturday. Shea, a lightweight fullback, has been placed in the driving position. Some damage on Halloween. Halloween, dedicated particularly to mischievous jokes and general gaiety on the part of the young folk, passed off noisily in the city, according to police. Some destruction of property, a thing common at Halloween celebrations of 20 years ago, was reported to police during the evening. In the eastern and southern part of the city, police say, the youngsters, garbed in all sorts of freakish costumes, upset buildings, stoned homes, and otherwise became rough and unruly. On the boom where several outbuildings were torn from their foundations. Police are investigating with a view to make several arrests. On South Water Street, a few of the youngsters threw whole crates of empty bottles into the street, causing motorists tire trouble. Among the first to have tires punctured were the police themselves. Many of the children, probably politically inclined, celebrated the evening by inscribing the names of their favorite presidential candidates on the windows of the homes and business houses.